that actually catches boobies.
Today is the day, the finale of the current run of Transformers Tuesday here on the channel. Rounding things off with Transformers issue number 12 to mark the 12th month and the end of the first year of the current run of Transformers in comic form from Skybound Entertainment. And it's what an action-packed issue it is. I have, of course, only read it once because it arrived late last week, I think. So, yeah, this is still fresh in the mind. It is full of plot twists, it is full of action, and it is full of Transformers. Who'd have thought? So we're just going to get right into it. Again, this should only be a 30 to 40 minute stream, as they have been. Just a little mini-series, looking through the comics, just reading through them. Here we have our Lord and Saviour Optimus Prime staring into the heart of Cybertron, which is, of course, as we know, has been brought into Earth's orbit and is slowly being materialized via a portal that of Shockwave's design towards the giant butthole. Indeed, the giant space butthole. Look at that, right towards the sphincter. Prime obviously making the sacrifice play as he often does. Good evening, Space Buddy. Congrats on being first. Welcome to the finale. No more Transformers Tuesday until at least next year. And I even then, I don't know when it's going to be. I just know it's going to be a watch party of Season 3. Anyway, this cover is by Daniel Warren Johnson, George Corona, and Mike Spicer. Let's just get to the opening credits, if you will. Okay, time to zoom in as well. Make sure everyone can see it. Ring-a-ding-ding. A little bit more. There we go, that'll do. A full half page. Transformers issue 12, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, art by George Corona, coloured by Mike Spicer, and lettered by Russ Wooden. Additional covers, we've got Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer, George Corona and Mike Spicer, Karen S. Darbo, a lot of familiar names here, we kind of know these names by now. Chris Stevens, Corey Walker, Scan Srizuan, Livio Ramondelli, John Yang, Mel Milton, Juan Gideon, Dan Quintana, and Tiago da Silva. Edited by Ben Abernathy, publication designed by Andre Juarez, and production by Ashby Florence, sorry. Not Ashton. Right, so without further ado, let's get down to business. Carly, looking on in despair as Devastator menaces the Autobot force that has gone to take on the Decepticons. We saw last week that they got the jump on Shockwave, who then was able to turn the tide due to RC's anger at the torture of Ultra Magnus and others. And then Shockwave was able to warn the Constructicons who turned into Devastator, and that's where we are. Carly looking on through Optimus's perspective, so Carly's watching the battle through Optimus's eyes. Oh no. Cliff. Of course, she only has eyes for Cliff Jumper, and wants to help him. Meanwhile, Decepticons, so Soundwave, poor Cliff Jumper is not having a good time. He's been tortured, and now he's just being flung around like a ragdoll. Because he's the small guy. Decepticons, and then of course he turns into his laser pistol mode. Let us be done with this Autobot blight. And there's Thundercracker, who I'm hoping still has second thoughts about this whole thing. I'd love to see him change sides, as it were, or maybe just go neutral or something. I don't know. Forever, but Carly is on her way to her van, and the battle rages on. What happened to Magnus? Oh yeah, of course, last week, or last time, Ultra Magnus, as soon as he met with Shockwave, he drove off in a sort of PTSD moment. I hope he comes back, because he is my second favourite boy. What happened to Magnus? I do not know. Jazz, ever with the music references. We're in the circle pit now. I do love his constant musical puns. Yeah, it's not looking good. But thankfully, Carly turns on the van, drives it full pelt towards the portal that the Autobots went through. And here we are. Optimus, are you still connected to the charges? Elite has set them, but I can't blow the Nemesis with Cliffjumper so close. But then, when are you all going to learn? Optimus looking shooketh. I'm here to stay, sorry. I'm here to say... Soundwave taken by surprise as well. Carly finally gets her hero moment and uses her car to smack Soundwave in the chest, thereby disarming him with Shockwave, of course, and knocking Cliffjumper free. So once again, Cliffjumper is being flung around like a wet flannel. And there's the impact trauma. And he's just pouncing on the roof. Carly, hey buddy, I'm sorry for not being there for you. But she's cut off because Devastator curb stomps the back of the van, sorry. And there goes Cliffjumper being flung around once again. Hope she wore a seatbelt. I think, wait, does she? No, it doesn't show her clicking the seatbelt in. That is poor road safety standards. I have to write a strongly worded letter to Skybound Entertainment to say, come on, you must depict the use of seatbelts. It's important. Autobots, while they're distracted, let's get our fallen brother. Ah, this bit's cool. Charge. So here we get to see Elita 1's alternate mode, which of course is a Cybertronian motorbike, which, according to the trailers, is the form that she's taking in Transformers 1 as well. Look at that. Look at Wheeljack and Jazz, very much in disguise as their unique, one-of-a-kind, never-seen-anywhere-else vehicles. I do like RC as this car, though, which I think is some kind of Lamborghini. Anyway. Cliffjumper trying to help Carly now. Hurry, get out. Throws Carly aside and is kind of trapped in the rubble with Devastator. There we go. Devastator's stepped on Cliffjumper's arm, which can't be that good. That's a cool shot, though. I like that it emphasizes the fact that Devastator has like a weird leg that's kind of like on two prongs. If that's the right word. And now Cliffjumper gets to get a big old kick, or he's like scooped up by the foot and thrown with the debris. Poor guy. He can't catch a break. All I can think of is Cliffjumper in the Transformers Prime cartoon, where, well, long story short, he lasts one episode. Cliffjumper just flung all the way to the portal. Or, does he go? Yeah, he's going into the portal. Because there's the remaining Combaticons on the Cybertron side. Combaticons, let's get into the but then they get absolutely dominated like that. So Cliffjumper inadvertently used as a cannonball against these guys. Right, so I'm suspicious of the art reference for the Combaticons being the Mastermind Creations versions of the characters that I've got in my collection. Because, I mean, Vortex comes with these two guns looking very much like how they do there. And I think I noticed it on a previous panel in a different issue with Blastoff as well. Oh, yeah, and here, Swindle holding a little handgun, and he's got his shoulder cannon. I don't know, maybe it's coincidence, or maybe the figures I've got in my collection are just that good, but I feel like they would make good drawing references, so I like to think that that's them. Right, next. Oh. Yeah. I like this. This like a big panel in 3 stages. You've got a shape coming out of the waves. Devastator getting cocky. And then, I love this. Reflected in his eye panel, we see that same silhouette again as he turns his head. But it's Optimus shooting... I'm pretty sure he's shooting Devastator in the head, but I can't tell what part of Devastator this is. He's obviously turned his head. I can't tell if that's meant to be his visor or his eyebrow. But it's still cool. Optimus using the full-on Megatron arm cannon to blast Devastator in the head. Although it looks like it might be the back of the head. So, like that. Flies off. Elita's doing her thing. And they do a Star War. They're doing a Star Wars. Isn't that Optimus's leg? Oh, no. Oh, God, yeah, you're right, Space. Okay. Yeah, he's like doing that kind of weird power stance and shooting between his feet. Okay, gotcha. Nice spot. Yeah, I totally didn't see that the first time I read it. I thought that, like, I think I just assumed that Optimus's leg was just behind the blast and that this was part of Devastator, but I think you're right in that that's his other leg. And it makes sense when you see that there compared to that little detail there. That's like his knee. Yeah, good spot. Cool. This is why it pays to read comics in more than once at a time. More than once. But yeah, Elita 1 tying up Devastator's legs, and then of course he falls over. I mean, you could also argue that that's what they do to Ant-Man in Captain America Civil War. Do the same thing. Tie him up by his knees so that he falls down. And it works, but he falls right on top of Shockwave's Energon Harvester, which was what was turning all the sea life into mincemeat. And of course, he's devastated by it. Look at him. Look at how devastated he is in that big, expressionless, singular eye. My harvester, no! And of course, that disables the portal as well. So, good news there. Optimus, unless my readings are mistaken, Cybertron is beginning to go back through the portal. But the beam from the Nemesis is still active. That device must have been keeping Cybertron in place, as well as harvesting Energon. With it gone, our home is slowly returning to its place in the galaxy. And Optimus, hearing that... Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's Shockwave. I shall bring reinforcements. You will see, you will pay. Shockwave doing a runner. Coward that he is. But... Carly, of course, again, still only has eyes for Cliffjumper. Cliff, I saw Carly. Optimus, the charges. We could send Cybertron back completely right now. And I will, Wheeljack. But it was me that left Jazz and Cliffjumper behind. But I will not leave him again. Really determined look on Optimus there. This is a great hero moment for Optimus, but also good for his character arc in this run, which we'll get to. Here are the Combaticons again, picking on Cliffjumper. They do away with this pest, and let's get back to guys. There's Vortex noticing what's coming. Oh, apparently, Cybertronians know Earth swear words, because it's implied of what he's about to say. Unless we can make up some kind of weird Cybertronian word. But still. Oh, shit. And here's an excellent panel of Optimus taking out 3 at once somehow. He's done something to blast off as he comes through, shooting Swindle with his regular gun. He is an Earth helicopter. Well, he hasn't transformed. He is a helicopter of some kind. They seem to... I mean, to be honest, in the cartoon, the robot modes were all the same, no matter what they turned into. So, maybe this is just how they look. Anyway, yeah, and then he's crushed Vortex's head down into the ground like that, with the bent rotors there. Very epic. And firing his guns pointlessly. They're doing nothing. And the Combaticons... He's too strong, retreat. They're gunning it. Sweary pilots. Cowards, stand and fight. Come on, then. Come on and finish it. we're getting the Optimus versus Shockwave fight. Another step, and except, katoom! His entire arm cannon is shot off. Shockwave's, well, I guess entire arm, but it does end in a laser, is blasted off. And there's Optimus. Is this all you do, Shockwave? Ratchet? Magnus? Life? Yeah! He's not in a good way, but I have no sympathy for him. All you do is take away what is good, and then there's a big old boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Smacking Shockwave in the face. Directly in the face. But then, calling back to a few issues earlier, we're getting Optimus having these visions again. Holding a baby. Yeah! And then the vision gets a bit cursed. We see that same baby with all wires connected to it, a clawed hand holding it. But what seems to be still Optimus's arm. Should have gone for the head. Just you wait. Gah. But then he has grabbed Shockwave's head. Optimus's eyes have gone purple. You can't really see. Let me try and hold that up. There, like that. Optimus is having a crisis in the workplace. Cracks his thumbs into Shockwave's head, which we see that on the cover of the issue before last, I think. Maybe even last issue. So it's almost like that was foreshadowing this moment. But it gets worse for old Shockwave. His entire head has been squished. Crushed and squished. And out of my mouth came the words squashed. I'm inventing it. It's my new word. So, Shockwave has been killed, allegedly. I mean, his head has been destroyed. I don't think his spark has been destroyed, so he might still come back, but we'll see. It'll be interesting seeing Shockwave with a different head, unless he goes for the same thing. Someone's been watching Game of Thrones. Oh my god, yeah, he's doing the mountain thing, isn't he? Not the mountain. No, yeah, the mountain, yeah. The Hound is the other one. But yeah, Optimus's eyes are all purple through that. And he's, of course, devastated by what he's done because he's Optimus Prime. Optimus, what have I done? Welcome back to the war, Optimus Prime. I finally see your old self returning, says Alita. No, I'm not like that anymore, Alita. Something came over me. I don't know what it was. He really should have mentioned these visions that he's been having to Ratchet, if he was still with us, but definitely Wheeljack. The portal. It's almost upon us. Yeah, so the portal is closing around Cybertron. They're on Cybertron because they went through the portal. So that's why that's happening. Just to give you a reminder of where they are. Cybertron is returning to its rightful place in the galaxy. We must get back to Earth before we return with it. Come, Cliffjumper. Let's go home. And you think that's going to be the end of the issue. But it ain't. The portal is blown up. Cocoon. You are home, Optimus. And that's Alita who fired the shot. Alita, what? And then the portal is obviously closed at this side. Carly wanted to know where Cliffjumper is. Alita, we need you here. The Autobot Resistance needs you here. All the Energon taken, we can use it together. I think Alita makes a fair point. But for the wrong reasons, I think. No, not like this. He's using a little arm pad thing. He's trying to set the charges. Don't bother, Optimus. I never set the charges in the first place. He's trying to blow the charges, sorry. So, plot twist, Alita is becoming a bit villainous. The Earth has so much to give. Look at all the Energon we have already. Energon taken by Shockwave. You're willing to feed Cybertron with the blood of their planet. When it's dying of thirst, yes. You think I want this? You think I wanted to force your hand? So many have died, Optimus. It has to mean something. This could be that something. So, I mean, I totally get it, but come on. Come on, man. Optimus getting a bit livid, and he's already crushed Shockwave's head. But this is cool, though. There's a nice panel here. Earth needs me. Earth needs us. And he's pointing his arm cannon at the Energon reserves. Please, your people need you. I need you. Nice image there. I do like it when they just have nothingness in the background to really drive home the emotion of the moment. I'm sorry, Alita. Don't abandon us again. Cocoon. Big old explosion. But we're still not done. There's the blast of Energon. Cliffjumper looking absolutely devastated. But, like, probably more for the reason that he thinks that this is finally it. Bless him. But because the portal, because of the explosion, and of course closing the connection of the portal as well, great big ripping noise. Elita's flung away. You chose. He did chose. Optimus has chosen. So there we see a picture of Cybertron with that entire surface just missing. That chunk just sheared right off in a perfect straight line. But it's implied that Elita was flung clear of that. You chose Earth over us. Meanwhile, Optimus is on that chunk, falling to Earth, falling into the sea. I mean, I don't know what the repercussions of this are going to be. That is not a small piece of debris. That is fully landing in the ocean on Earth. So I wonder how they're going to address that in the next issue. He's falling through the atmosphere. He's burning up. It burns. If this is the end of my spark, then I thank the primes that this will be my last sight. He gets to see... I'm guessing that's the sunrise over the ocean. I know, Optimus, says a voice. It's Beachcomber! This place reveals new beauties every moment. And he's got his rocket surfboard. Looking pretty damn swish right there. Beachcomber? And they have a hand-to-hand moment. Really see how Optimus has been like, crumbled to pieces coming through the atmosphere there, compared to Beachcomber. And yeah, so this bit I had to kind of think about the logistics of this, because traditionally, the new Herald of Galactus, the Silver Surfer and its Beachcomber. Oh, I'd love to see that as a crossover. That'd be great. Oh my god, a Galactus and Unicron team up. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, so Beachcomber is really small next to Optimus Prime. And yet, like, the surfboard seems to be strong enough to hold both of them. I don't know. Maybe it's a magic surfboard. It's the Silver Surfer's surfboard. But it's still cool. Beachcomber rescuing Optimus Prime. What have I done? Indeed, what has he done? Because, like I said, great big piece of Cybertron has just crashed into Earth. And it doesn't say to be continued. And there is no preview of issue number 13, no cover or anything. But issue 13 will happen. Because, annoyingly, I've already been a little bit spoiled about what it contains. There's a funny comic where Deadpool becomes the Herald. I need to see that. I bet that's amazing. Instead, we get Ultra Mega is another comic that Skybound Entertainment are doing, allegedly. By the same artist as Hellboy. Big old double-page spread for the G.I. Joe comics. Biggest comic book of the decade is here. And you got Hydra on the left and G.I. Joe on the right. That actually looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to more Transformers G.I. Joe content in the comics. Well, although, you can see there's a very suspicious grey arm sticking out with a hand. Could be Megatron, maybe? Yep, Transformers Robot Volume 1. That's all the comics up to this point, possibly. Or all the issues in one kind of package, kind of thing, if you're into that. There's also apparently a G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, which looks like what if Streets of Rage but G.I. Joe. Which I guess is kind of fun. It's on Steam, it's on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah. Could be good. Void Rivals, Duke, Cobra Commander, Volume 1s. And that's it. And then we get some alternate covers for this issue. So we've got a very distraught Cliff Jumper. Fate as yet unknown. Astro Train and Spike. Optimus aiming his gun at Cliff Jumper, or it's implied that he is. And then Elita 1 Optimus Prime having a firefight. Well, there we go. That is Transformers Tuesday number 12. Number 13 if you include the watch party of the 1986 movie. Wasn't on Twitch, of course. Yeah, I'll probably come back to these when the next year is done, or almost done. Might even do it differently next time and combine 2 comics in one stream. I don't know, we'll see. All I know is the current run of Transformers is expected to last another year. So there will be another 12 months worth of comics this time next year. But that is it. No more Transformers Tuesday for the foreseeable. I will probably come back to it in 2025 for watch parties of the 1980s cartoon, Season 3, which features what is considered to be one of the worst episodes of Transformers ever, which will be fun to watch. Carnage in C minor it's called, and it's like a musical episode, or based around music. Could be fun. But that is all from me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at Transformers issue number 12. I am off to do some shopping and have some dinner. GG, thank you Space, thank you for hanging out. I'm pretty sure it's only been you, mostly, for these streams, but I hope you appreciate it, and thank you for coming by. Lego Marvel Superheroes is tomorrow's stream. I shall see you there. Good night.